Morning Briefing. March 12, 2020 by Anna von Reitz. The Rothschilds have been removed as the trustees of the Western world, lost the United States, Federal Reserve, BIS. But they are still rushing around trying to peddle what isn't theirs. Buyers beware. All the above belongs to the actual creditors, and we are all, worldwide, the actual creditors. They have been using and siphoning off our credit and assets this entire time and not even returning a very small amount of the profit to those who have been harmed by this grotesque fraud scheme. It got to the point where they had claimed to own literally everything and there was nothing left to leverage. The credit and wealth of the world was so unbalanced in favor of commercial corporate interests, and everyone was so completely invested in that system of things that there was no way, none they would accept, to rebalance the system and restore the normal flow of international trade. Imagine what would happen if all the small businesses worldwide suddenly shut down and you were left with just a handful of giant suppliers? At a certain point, there is nothing underpinning the markets, which have been eroded by unrestrained monopoly interests. You can have any color of car that you want, so long as it's black. The Rothschilds used every trick in the book to profit themselves, but they forgot the actual purpose of the game, and apparently also wanted to forget who they owe all the chips to once the casino is shut down. We hear all the scuttlebutt. We track all the scheming. It still comes down to the fact that the commercial corporations, especially banks, owe an immense amount of credit to the people, and that means that the principals that have chartered all these corporations owe their debts, too, regardless of bankruptcy. So, dear children, the witches and trolls have decided to kill us by the bus loads, to avoid paying back even ongoing partial payments that they unarguably owe, the mutual offset credit exemption exchanges that have been owed since 1934. And they have offered to pay off the corrupt military brass by offering to give them credit that is owed to the American states and people, based on assets that belong to us, too. Al Capone ain't got nothing on Dr. Mark. Ever heard of playing both ends against the middle? Or catching people both going and coming? Well, here we are, the middle that they have all immorally, illegally, and unlawfully been playing against, their purported donors, their customers, their employers. Mr. Trump, please issue the executive order halting deployment of 5G in this country pending correction of the equipment and establishment of safeguarded frequency modulation across the entire grid. You have our go-ahead to hunt down, prosecute, and if necessary liquidate the criminals responsible for the development and release of the coronavirus. Most of these entities are already bankrupt, so you will have to address the principals to halt their activities. Please also issue a national mortgage moratorium and put an end to the chemtrail spraying once and for all. Non-domestic populations are being harmed, and we are making this an official complaint. If the members of the Municipal Congress won't immediately agree to these measures, arrest them as undeclared foreign agents and deport them. They are all dual citizens, so you have an easy out. 89 of them can be flown directly to Israel and dropped off with our compliments. Most of the members of Congress have knowingly or unknowingly committed high treason by offering to kill the people of this country, their employers, so it isn't as if we owe them any better consideration.